What is going on, Ram fans? I am Jared Stratton. Welcome to the last sports show of the semester. I promised myself I wouldn't cry, but I think I can keep it together. Let's break down what's been happening this week. The men's basketball team is still seeing players transfer out of CSU's program, with 2 announcing their decisions to transfer within 24 hours of each other this week alone. The first was Jack Schumann, a sophomore. Yesterday, he posted pictures of him at CSU, but at a different CSU. It was at California State University Bakersfield. At a smaller school, the forward will have a much better chance of becoming a full-time starter for the Roadrunners. The other player that transferred this week was Deion James, who also announced his decision on Twitter. James chose to go to the Washington State to help them rebuild and use his last year of college eligibility to play for the Cougars. The Rams now have lost 5 players due to the players leaving the program early. But on the bright side, though, 5 upcoming freshmen have committed to join CSU in the fall, one of which is coming all the way from New Zealand. The Rams team will almost be an entirely different one from last year, and head coach Nico Medved will have to adapt his game plan to their talents. The track and field team received almost every possible Mountain West Weekly award this week. Let's start with Jessica Azudi, who won the Women's Outdoor Track Athlete of the Week. She shattered the CSU record for the 200 meter, a record that she set last week. Her 23.1 time in the 200s is the best in the Mountain West and is the 30th in the nation. Now for Nathan Gish. He won the Men's Track Athlete of the Week also because of his great 200 time. His time was 21.14, which was the fastest time for CSU in more than a decade. And last but definitely not least was Jackson Morris, who won the Field Athlete of the Week. The redshirt freshman broke a 25-year-old CSU record in the javelin throw. His mark of 223.11 is the best in the Mountain West, which is the 27th best in the nation. This consistency of breaking records is now becoming a standard for this Rams team, so don't be surprised if this happens all next season too. The Nuggets played in the Pepsi Center yesterday against the Portland Trailblazers for the second game of the playoff series. This game right here, CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard were dominating. Damian Lillard right there made that 3, doing what he does best, Dame time. But CJ McCollum was great from under the arc as well. That duo right there had 34 points on the day. Those guys were on fire. But also, Nikola Jokic, it wouldn't be a game without a crazy pass from the Joker. That's what he does best. Paul Millsap was able to also dunk it in right there, get smacked in the arm for an and one. He didn't make that free throw. That was a 3-point play. But every fire that the Nuggets had was put out by C.J. McCollum. C.J. McCollum had 20 points on the day. That man was on fire. And he wasn't only making 3 points, too. When he also got double covered, he's still able to make it even in the paint like that right there. But my personal favorite player of the day was Torrey Craig, making that 3 right there. It wasn't just that 3. He's going to look a little different. He has that face mask because he broke his nose earlier in the game. He made that 3 with a broken nose. This man was out for 3 quarters, still ended up playing the rest of that game. He was on fire. He played great. But also, Jokic still was able to play. This is something that you're not going to see Jokic, the Joker, do that much. Right here, he's going to dunk it. I shouldn't have to say that about someone that's over 7 feet tall, but you will never see the Joker dunk in a game. But this play right here is really what exemplified the game. Right here, we have Torrey Craig on the ground. He's in pain again. It's in the 4th quarter after his nose is already broken, but Gary Harris, you don't see him right now, but he's running over and attacking Enes Kanter because he believed Enes Kanter fought Torrey Craig on the court and knocked him over. We're going to see another replay right here. You actually can see Jokic's arms throw Enes Kanter into Torrey Craig. But then again, the tempers were at an all-time high. You're going to expect a lot of this to happen throughout the rest of the series. And that final score of the game was 97-90 Trailblazers. The Nuggets will now be on the road for 2 straight games in Portland, with the first game being tomorrow at 8:30. Now it's time for the last 1-minute challenge of the year. I'll do my absolute best to make it worth it. After the draft last week, the NFL has been in a frenzy. Chris Harris Jr. wanted to be traded or paid, and John Elway tried his absolute best to get him to get traded before the draft. Tyreek Hill has been accused of beating his son but is not yet on the commissioner's exempt list. Marshawn Lynch might retire to Oakland, but still, John Gruden is going to change that because John Gruden actually already signed Doug Martin, and the team will be filled up on running backs. In the NBA, the Celtics GM had a mild heart attack, but he's okay. And the entire NBA playoffs East is playing against each other right now, and all the teams are tied with 1-1 record. The only team with a winning record is Warriors, who are playing the Rockets. In their last game, Draymond Green has hit James Harden in the eye, which is still bothering today, but it pulled him out of the game. Steph Curry also left the game because of an injury, but both players came back later in the game. And the Rockets' first loss, all the Houston fans were calling for a foul in the final few minutes, and this led to the Rockets GM to bring up incidents at a press conference from the past 3 years about the refs favoring Golden State. Steve Kerr responded to the press conference by flopping a report and calling it a foul. D'Angelo Russell was cited for marijuana and cited for marijuana in a New York airport, and he tried to hide the marijuana in an iced tea can. Oh my goodness. I tried to make that one a little more difficult than last time. I think it made it a little too difficult, though. Well, that's all the sports I have for tonight, and unfortunately, the rest of the year. But make sure to stay updated with CSU Sports, and to see who will win the Triple J Pick'em Challenge, it's going to be me. Make sure to follow us at sports_CTV and subscribe to our YouTube channel. But don't go anywhere just yet. Up next, Lauren Cut will uncover what's going to happen in the Underrun.